members of the media. I must admit, it's been a while since we sat each other's presence or engaged each other. Today is an important day. Today marks 1 week since Father Augustine and friends have sought to bring Tobagonians to a point where they become concerned. And I say that because they have become grave concern in the affairs of Tobago based on his utterances. How could a humanitarian cry and appeal to the THA to recognize 27 Tobagonians in New York who were challenged for food? How could that cry result in a week of activities that saw Tobagonians around the world and Trinidadians become extremely afraid and experience pain in their hearts, pain in their minds that affected their sleep and their daily lives? Today is 1 week, and I think it is a day when we should do something about it. Today is Fix It Day. I, as a political leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, the party I founded in 2015, must take leadership. The PDP has been an extremely successful political organization, not only in Tobago, but it has become an icon of resistance and success among all political organizations and aspirants in the region. I dare to say that the PDP is of one mind today. The PDP is of one focus today. We will not engage Fali, Augustine, and friends in any public fight. He has been issuing invitations. He has been making overtures that will signal he's looking for a fight. I wish to communicate to him. His friends or agents or whatever you call them, expect no fight from Watson, Solomon, Duke. You are simply not my equal, and the reasons that you are looking for a fight are unworthy. Again, how could a man plead for food? Translate, in Fali and friends having a press conference trying to denigrate the good name of Watson Solomon Duke, insinuating that you don't fear Captain Cook or Cook, saying that you will review his portfolio before weekend. We have seen and we have heard him, and that weekend had ended. Nothing came out of it. But then again, some folks have called him the lion father. Yes, I've called him lion father. He's known for saying one thing and the next. And as if his ability to remove my portfolio was not enough, the next step that came is that he will have an executive meeting yesterday. At the end of that meeting, whether I'm there or not, he will make decisions. I've waited, and the meeting ended, and no decision was made at that meeting to review my portfolio. Again this morning as I wake, Father is messaging me on my WhatsApp message, the first message I got from him, like about 2 weeks, saying to me that there's a meeting tonight, Mr. Drew. Come to your meeting tonight to the executive. I'm tired of his childish games. He's looking for a fight. Most of you all know that Watson Drew, when he's fighting, It's in written form, and newspapers will sell. People look at TV. You know, people become interested. But I've retired fighting against individuals. I am fighting for the people of Tobago now. I'm fighting to put people before politics. I'm fighting for food. I'm fighting for education. I'm fighting for better health care. I'm fighting for job opportunities. I'm fighting for the people who have never been fought for in this country by politicians. And so I ignore Farley. I suck my teeth. Forget that. We will come again, brother. Look for yourselves. Not fighting. I say that in direct opposite of the juxtaposition that against what Farley and friends are fighting for. They are fighting to be the elite class. And every opportunity they have, they take their pictures and put it on the Facebook. Before you see them, smiling, walking, everything is a glad boy or glad girl activity. Naked teeth, like Pepsi is selling very well in their neck of the woods. Always smiling, but the work is not being done. Make up to the match, surprise everyone way, but the work is not being done. When we campaign on fixing this bread and butter issues. That was the team we campaigned on. Fixing this bread and butter issues. We promised the Tobagonians we will put them first because they had grown tired, they had grown fatigued of politicians putting them last. And we said, you will be first. We spoke of something called positive discrimination. Understanding that Tobagonians may not have the wherewithal to advance and to become engaged or to even satisfy the requirements or criteria for a large contract. And so we said, we will put you first. We said on the platform that no big contract will take place in Tobago without at least 40% of that money remaining in Tobago. So if that contract is for 100 million, then 40 million of that money must remain in Tobago. We spoke of that. We said we do not want our people to roll paint or throw mortar on the wall or to become years and straightened. We must own the factory. We must become the owners of our own economy. Farley and friends have divorced themselves from that mandate. And they are now the reincarnation of P&M. Farley reminds me of Oval London on steroids. Full of chat, but can't defend that. That's what he is. A lot of talk, and always presents himself well. You gotta give it to the guy. He presents himself like Oval London, but he's on steroids. Much better than Oval London. At the end of the day, it's the same thing. Whether it's Oval London or Farley and Boston, same thing. The needs of Tobagonians are not met. And I dare say, the needs of Tobagonians will not be met by this executive. Their agenda is totally different from that of the PDP. Hence, they will say to themselves that they wish for me to fight for them. And if I lose, I should go. But is that the type of political language we want in this space, in this day, when resources are few and far between? Should we go to the Tobago House of Assembly and engage in a power wrestling match? Should we do that? I think the House of Assembly time could better be spent passing motions or laws that could benefit directly the people of Tobago. Not too strong, but this is what the little boy, Farley, and friends are concerned with. And if you can hear him, and if what's to challenge me, I'm sure he will get the vote. Because he's one boss, one leader, one chief secretary, one team. A dictatorship in the making. But we hold the belief in the PDP that a surface wound regardless of how you think of it. It's visible and it's ugly, but it can only be healed openly. You have to expose it. And so we in the PDP reject the idea of solving this on the inside. Let the public see it. Or what it is, let them see the pus oozing out. But there must be healing. There must be healing. Ali has divorced himself from the cry of the small man. In Tobago now, the small people, they are made to tender for small projects. While he's giving out big projects, $25 million, King Peter's Bay Road, some little small driveway they want to make somebody. $25 million to a contractor who's not from Tobago. That's all I will say. $60 million in contract again, sole select to a contractor who's not from Tobago. That contract is to pave roads. That's more than we don't want to be somewhere around there. There's another big contract that he gives out there. $75 million to another contractor to do some roads in Palazzo side. Contractor from Trinidad. But the $20 projects, the $50,000 project, $100,000 project, tell for that. That's the big standard. People are making a connection. The airport authority can tell you, if they're honest, the large sums of cash as he's bringing to Tobago. The large sums of cash is carrying to Tobago. What business he has the cash? He needs to come and tell us that. And tell us if that's not so. And let's do a Freedom of Information Act and see the times he goes and comes and scan the bags. You will see large sums of cash. He's collecting money. Let him say the source. Valley is far less than honest. His ideals are not pure. How can a man appealing to the Tobago Assembly for humanitarian aid for 27 Tobagonians be threatened with demotion, threatened with termination, threatened by being ostracized? Well, Watson Duke has always committed himself to fight for people. All the media people have seen me. They have seen me take on the police, take on Patrick Manning, take on Kamala, take on Rowley. You have seen me before. And I know you miss me when you green. But I still wear the black. The Progressive Democratic Patriots, we are Spartans. What Father Augustine is leading is a jellyfish pack. Without spine, without backbone, that's what he's leading inside it. Nobody will stand up to him and say, you are going down the wrong road. Put yourself together. He all shed. He leaves a jellyfish pack. We will always fight for people. And so today, an effort to continue that fight, to put people before politics, I have decided to resign immediate effect from the Tobago House of Assembly. I wish not to be part of Farley and his gang. I will not be part of an executive run by a child and his friends who doesn't understand what it is to serve and servitude. They want to be big, then form your own company, run your own thing, but do not take public funds, ill-treat the public, and come and treat special people to give them a golden pass. How did those contractors get that 25 million contract, that 60 million contract, that 75 million contract? How did they so select them? On what basis? On what basis they were given preferential treatment? Let him tell us how many contracts that persons have tendered for, small men in Tobago. Tell us that. Tell us that. We need to know. I will continue to be an assemblyman representing the Roxbrook Argyle, and I will not sit with it. I will sit on the opposite side, but I will not sit with the PNM either. It will be Watson Duke, the PDP, representing the people, it will be Farley and Friends on one side and the PNM on the other side. Farley and Friends have already formed a party with their own symbol, and it's just a matter of time for it to be registered. I can say to him now, instead of looking to fight, we want to register your party. Because when Watson Group moves away, he carries the PDP with him. So it's not the PDP executive on one side, PNM on one side, and Watson Group on the next side. Wherever I am is the PDP. The PDP is owned by Watson Solomon Duke. There's no two owners. There was no group. When I started, it was my brother, myself, and a dog. That's how we started, on the street lights. When the party registered, there was no Farley, there was no Faith, there was nobody. It was just Watson and the people. And now that we have struggled, now that we have 1, 2, take 6, take 14, now the thing looking good. They want to push Watson aside. Forgetting the history. The PNM will not do it. They remember a brilliant and forever is great. The UNC will not do it. But the PDP, led by imposters, they will do it. Because they are not true Spartans. They are jellyfish. Spineless. They have forgotten their mission. Mindless. And they are now looking to be an elite group. Very nauseating to see that. They kept a big carnival gala event, fireworks, etc. Approximately 2 million free event. It was good, it's nice. But juxtaposition that against the 27 people in New York wanted to eat. That's all. Juxtaposition that over parents who can afford to buy school books. Juxtaposition that over people can't eat. But it's okay for them to move around and drink wine, expensive liquor in palm shell as they throw back ahead. And when it's empty, they blow it. Pop, 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 pop. So they know that they're around. Very noisy and nauseating look. I will not submit myself to that level of tyranny and battle. So what to do? And I say what to do / the PDP is moving away. And we're allowing Farley the full reign over the executive. I'm not coming to your meeting, I have nothing to say, except I will be the watchdog for the people of Tobago. Yeah? So at this time I pause, take a few questions, but I will say to you, there's much more to tell. There's much more to tell, but I will leave it there for today. I will only speak on this issue for now. Farley behavior is not new. I knew who he was from the very beginning. That's not surprising. Any questions?
Mr. The committee addressed on your presentation, you say that the navigation of the secretary carrying on to the vehicle. Is that something that you consider towards
let the police investigate that. If the police are looking for crime, let them investigate that. Father Person is no political leader. He's no treasurer of any party, as I'm aware. What is he doing carrying large cash of money? One could easily justify a political leader, whatever sorts, that got contribution from someone, or the treasurer of a party has collected some finance and is moving to expedite some bills or something like that. But you want the chief secretary. And the thing is, whether or not the airport authority in checking his bags found cash in his bags or paper, and let him say what it was, let him deny that. That's what I'm saying. Let him deny that. People, the public must hold themselves clean.
You your resignation at this time, I mean, how do you think the membership of the PDP would have supported you just 9 months, just only 9 months ago? How would they feel? Is that something people think could become suicide?
Oh, family and friends. See, the PDP are a bunch of fighters. I will assure you this one thing, that Father Augustine, who is desirous of being the one boss, now has his chance. He cannot blame Watson Duke. And the people cannot blame Watson Solomon Duke. Because if I'm silent, they will say, "What? You know, see what's happening? Why are you not talking out? You need to say something about this. It's your party." If I'm silent, they will say that. If I make noise, the father will say, "See what happened? He belongs to the party and he's talking his own thing. Let's get rid of him." How much week do we have like this? A week like this should only be once in 5 years. We don't need to have to make evidence in confused on a daily basis as to what's going on. No. Let there be peace. He wants to be one boss, one chief, one leader. Go right ahead. I'm no longer in your team. But I pray that you deliver on your mandate. Because in PDP, who would have won the election, we continue to hold you responsible for delivering that mandate. Yeah? Because we won the election. And the people will hold him and his friends true to that mandate. And we would protest. We would make noise. They would not have it easy.
Let's come back to the election. When we have the other segment of what the government others considering the state same move as that you have taken to stand away from the parties.
Ask the question again.
The other segment who would have went up as on the PDP slate,
Yeah.
are they themselves have the same concerns, some of them have the same concerns as you say, and are they willing to step away with the PDP and you?
Well, I'm not sure. They will have to decide that. So the future are falling creatures. They are not fine. But they are beautiful nonetheless to look at. Yeah?
You raised in respect to the number of contracts, 60 million, 75 million. You like that chief secretary or BDT. Were you not present when these decisions were being taken? If you have any oversight, what you see when these decisions were being taken?
You know what soul select means? Soul select means that the assembly agrees this collective responsibility. But this is a person that will win, and that's it. You go to the school, you go to one more school, the one chief, the one leader school, one team, you saw them cap, you saw them chair, a bunch of jellyfish. Spineless, weak, impotent. They have betrayed the people of Tobago. They have used the party to get into power. When they got into power, they have abused the people. And now they are expunging the leader of the party and the people. Let's see how that will go. Let's see how long they will last. But I tell you this though, on the positive side of things, I intend to commit myself to another fight. I don't fight children. I don't fight people under my level. Police is not on my level. I decided to fight, take on a fight now with the People's National Movement, a more direct fight, a fight for Port Spain. My brothers and my sisters who look and sound like me Port Spain, they too have been crying out. They have been begging for years of some type of release. And PNM keeps winning over and over again. And I've decided to engage in that fight for Port Spain. Because whenever there's a fight, I will fight. I will fight until my last day comes. I will fight for people. I've fought for Tobago, we have won Tobago. I place it in the hands of a child. And he messed things up. I'm saying to the child now, I am removing myself from the team. I'm going to hold you responsible. Very much so. So expect me to be very hard on him and very hard on the team. but I'll do it from outside the team. On the other hand, I'm going to fight for Port of Spain and Trinidad and St. Francis.
How soon do you expect PDP party to run and actually go to elections in Port of Spain?
As soon as they call the local government elections, we will be there. We will contest the local government election. And I guarantee you, it's going to be very exciting. Very exciting.
From what was happening in the PDP, I mean, from looking at the government who have followed the PDP's mandate and you now putting yourself away from the grasp of authority in the assembly, do you think that it seems like a sense of betrayal by PDP just putting away, placing themselves on the other side of the table?
But I don't know if me just holding a gun and pointing at the man's head means I'm betrayed. I will not point any gun at Tobago Nelson. I'm a defender of Tobago. I'm a defender of their rights. And if, when I speak, for the whole year, since December to last week, I have not said a word on TH. You recognize that? I have not said a word on TH. I've kept silent. Totally silent. Everybody asks, why are you not speaking to? Things happening. I say, and I touched on something that wasn't even THA. I said, we have 27 people out here who are hungry. Let's get something to them, please. I call my team. My people are done at me. Even the shoe. I have to remove myself because there are more things I want to say. According to Bob Marley, I've got so much things to say right now. I've got so much things to say. I will let the Tobagonians know who we have there. They are not ordinary people. They are not who you think they are. And they will not fulfill that mandate. So if they're not taking criticism from inside, then I say to you, my brother, they will get it from outside. And if they think it's one man, it is one man, and all the PDP Spartans in Tobago, and we ain't afraid of nobody, because we are Spartans. The PDP Spartans will be keeping them honest. We want Father to explain how those contractors got that contract. Of all the contractors, what you know about them? He knows about them. He just gave it the power. Have they worked with the big man underneath him? Who referred them? We want to find out who are the names for the 60 million, 25 million, and 75 million contracts. We wanted to say whether or not he moves large sums of cash from Tobago, from Trinidad to Tobago, and where those large sums of cash goes. Because he has not been paying PDP bills. I'm the political leader, and I'm responsible for the bills. There are quite a few bills outstanding. I try to pay from time to time. He has not been paying the bills. So is he showing people bills that are already paid? What is going on? You have a lot to answer. But I tell you, there's a lot to be said. I want to thank you for your time.
Before you go, can you explain what happened with respect to this house for a football group? Because the THA would have extended $400,000 for them to come because it is supposed to be. So how could they be hungry? How could they go there and not know where they're going to be listening and stuff like that? Can you explain a little bit about that?
I would ask you to ask Farley and his friends that question. But what was reported on the media by Farley himself is that they will never give any money. Alright? He will never give any money. It was a commitment to be paid. I will tell you many things that Farley has not paid. For instance, I'll tell you this one. In December, when I took up the post of deputy, I was sworn in, and Faris Alwari launched a scale attack against me. I had to get a lawyer. I got a senior counsel. Right? Farley got a lawyer for himself, and he got one for the THA. I got mine. Those lawyers have been paid all their monies for the civil court, hundreds of thousands of dollars. They have paid all of their monies for the appeal court because we won the matter. My lawyer won the matter in the lower court. It's not in the appeal court. They lost the matter. He went on and he paid them the money for the appeal court. and my lawyer has not yet been paid. Why is it that my lawyer has not yet been paid? Every time I ask him what's going on with money, it's by accountant, by accounts. Lie. I can tell you much more, but I'll have a day reserved for the sins offer. You know who he really is, and how it wasn't about just simple food and the food group. It was about a man or a boy trying to be a man. And I think more about it, so you know him, and not mistaken for a gentleman.
So at this point in time, there's a repairing of the relationship with the self-esteem.
He continues with my brother. I have nothing. I can talk about my brother. I have. Who love law, sir. That's why I'm staying to keep him honest and to ensure he follows the mandate. If I wasn't fighting, I would have engaged him. And he wouldn't have won. He would have lost. But at what expense? At my party's expense? No. Let me remove my party from that. Farley, Augustine, and Lee just can't represent my party anymore. It's a waste of time. They have betrayed the party, betrayed the ideals of the party. They are on their own.
Is that not major in your motion of no confidence because the other secretaries we betrayed, you don't have their support and
I've told you already, and I will tell you again, we're not fighting the picnic. Alright? We're not fighting the picnic. That's what they go down, right? I tell you already, I'm going to tell you again, we're not fighting little picnic. 2 minutes fight, man, Kamala, Romley. Jennifer Baptist crying out. And then we're not fighting. We're not fighting little picnic.
but these are people, these are very people.
I'm not fighting little picnic, the trend.
But these are people who put the big one since 19.
As long as I was there, that would have been a team. But when they remove the parent from the home where you have children, you know it's against the law to have children unsupervised? Right? It's against the law to have them inside the unsupervised. That's why I go back to the bar. I pause on the side and say, hey, don't do that. Shout at them. That's the only thing they will hear all this time. Shouting.
Well, these are people that they don't think about the money, the change, and they will have a hope and faith in PDP and all that social progress and pour it into me.
No, but that's not it. I want you to listen to the tape again. This is one man saying, to prevent an implosion, I'm stepping aside. Please get the facts right. Please get it right. There's no fight going on here. You are trying to do that fight. There's no fight going on here. No what's against Farley. This is one man saying, take up this Georgie Bond and say, I'm going on the next side. You leave. I'm going on the next side. That's clear. There's no fight going on here. No fight. Understand that clearly? I have no fight with Father Augustine. He's not my equal, he's not my match. He's a child to me. I don't fight children. Alright? He's more looking for fights. I'm not looking for one. Get that absolutely clear. I know usually sometimes twist the stories, but twist it in the right direction. Absolutely, that is a lie to say that. But I'm going to become the voice of the people. I've always wanted to do that. I've always done that. The voice of the people. That should be absolutely clear. I don't care about money. Position. Where do you see instability? Where do you see instability? Let me ask you a question. Where do you see instability? The PDP won an election. 14-1. The PDP installed an executive. Alright? Led by Farley Augustine. Farley Augustine, that one boss, one leader, one team kind of stuff. I find no place in that. I've stepped aside today as I'm going on the next side. And I'm saying to him, I want to see him govern. How does that come for the closure? That's democracy. That's democracy at its highest. I will take him on, fight him, bring him back into this recruit, bring him into this recruit. I'm not doing that. I'm simply pulling myself out. I don't think I have to explain this next time. It's a very simple matter. One man is removing himself away from everyone. They will find someone else to put there as chief secretary. And I can tell you who the next person is going to be as chief secretary. Alright? They're going to put Dr. P.D. Israel as the chief secretary. Alright? That's what they're going to do. So, I mean, I'm glad for them. I have not lost anything. My party has won. 41. My party has installed a government, but they are not accustomed to new politics. In new politics, you can be the owner, you can be the founder, you can be the political leader, but you don't have to lead. You can leave from behind. So they are saying, if I'm in front, I don't care about anybody who's behind me. That's disrespectful. A man who owns Manchester is not the coach, and he's not the striker. Okay? The man who owns Lakers, he's not the coach. Yeah? He's not the main scorer. We must learn to separate their functions. And not because you are in front, it means you must disrespect those who have paved the way and paved the way for you. So I have none of that. And it's not a war, it's a de-escalation of a war. So it's peace. I thank you very much. I know that this is patently clear, and there are no questions or concerns. Any questions you have, take it to Mr. Augustine. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.